Shona's reading program, Literacy Skills for Reading. Today I'm talking about what reading is, what skills are needed to read, and how we teach these skills. Who is this video for? Well, for everyone. If you're a learner, you can find out more about reading. But I caution you, I'm using a lot of teacher talk and I'm speaking quickly. This video is also for instructors. Maybe it'll be a review of principles of reading instruction, or maybe you'll learn something new. This video is also for administrators of English language programs. Maybe you're wondering what's the difference between teaching literacy skills and teaching language skills, because they're related, but they're not the same. And finally, maybe you're a funder. Maybe you have money to spend on resources. I'm wondering if you would consider, how are we teaching reading? Do we have appropriate resources? Is there a need for a more systematic, comprehensive, explicit approach? Yes, there is. Before we start, I'd like you just to think about what you already know about reading. How did you learn to read? Have you taught anyone to read? What is reading? Well, reading is getting meaning from printed text, including letters, numbers, and symbols. The end goal of reading is comprehension, which is understanding the meaning. But how do we get to the end goal? So we want to comprehend, but we're starting here. What is the process? I want to give you a bit of a map to show you how we get to that end goal. Because reading is a complex process. The other day I watched a YouTube video called The Big Five Overview, and it did a really good job explaining the 5 elements of reading. So let me tell you a little bit about them. We've got phonemic awareness, phonics, vocabulary, fluency, and comprehension. Let's flip the order and start with comprehension. So comprehension is, do I understand what I've read? Fluency is, can I read the words fast enough in order to get the meaning? Vocabulary, do I know enough words? And this is a tricky one. For an instructional text, we should be able to read about 95% or more of the words to get the meaning. Then we have the things I want to focus on today. Phonemic awareness. Can I hear sounds? And phonics. Can I match sound to symbol? Okay, are you ready for my key point? It's important. Phonemic awareness and phonics are predictors of reading success. I want to show you what it looks like to develop phonemic awareness and teach phonics to adult English language learners, especially literacy learners, so learners with limited formal or interrupted education. Phonemic awareness is the ability to hear and manipulate individual sounds in spoken words. Let me give you an example. What is this? This is a cat. How many sounds do you hear in the word cat? Cat, cat, k-at. I hear 3 sounds in the word cat. The first sound is k, cat. The middle sound is a, k, at. And the last sound is t, cat. In this exercise, we were practicing hearing the sounds. So we broke the word into separate sounds. It's called segmenting. And we listened for the first sound, the middle sound, and the last sound. And then there's other things you can do. You can do onset and rhyme. So onset would be the k, and the rhyme would be the at. And then some related activities we could do. We could count. We could count the number of sounds, which we did, 3, or the number of syllables, or the beats in the word. So cat, 1 syllable, but kitty cat has 3 syllables. We can do blending. So say we have the letters B, A, T, b-at, bat, putting it together, and rhyming. Sit and hit rhyme, but top does not. Phonemic awareness is connected to phonics. It's a relationship between sounds and letters and a systematic approach for teaching it. Let's go back to our example. We said that cat has 3 sounds, k, at. So how many letters do you think cat has in it? Yeah, so the word cat has 3 sounds and 3 letters. So if we know which letters can go with which sounds, then we're able to spell. So cat starts with a k sound, and k is made, well, that's a tricky one. It's made a few different ways, but it's made by the letter C. Then the middle sound, a, is made by the letter A, and t is made by the letter T. Now, I think what people find tricky about English is there are 44 sounds, but only 26 letters, which means sometimes a sound is made by more than one letter, and sometimes a letter makes more than one sound. So phonics is really connecting oral language and written text. And that relationship between sounds and letters goes by a bunch of different names. Phonics is also used to refer to the way we teach learners to read and write. So you could say, I do phonics in my class, which just means I teach these connections and rules in a systematic way. Now, another term that's related to this is decoding. So how reading works is we start to recognize words. So we read a word so quickly, so fluently, that we don't even recognize that we're reading. We just know, we have a mental picture, we know what it means. But decoding is used when it's a new word, and if the word follows those sound-symbol relationships, then we can decode it, we can sound it out, and maybe connect it to a word that we know how to say. Reading skills are connected to spelling skills. So you can see here the student is starting to develop some of those spelling patterns in English and has a few more things to develop. Given how important phonemic awareness and phonics are to reading and then spelling, let's connect this to how we teach English in Canada. So newcomers to Canada are provided free English language classes in the LINC program, the Language Instruction for Newcomers to Canada, which is based on the Canadian Language Benchmarks, which is a guide that sets out what learners should be doing in reading, writing, listening, and speaking at each of the 12 benchmarks. And I think the CLBs are great. I also think task-based language education is fantastic. However, I am concerned that learners are not developing their reading skills because there is too much emphasis on reading comprehension in PBLA, or Portfolio-Based Language Assessment. We need more emphasis on bottom-up literacy skills. Lots of the things I've talked about today are related to ESL for Adult Literacy Learners Guide. So if you look under the Continuum of Literacy Skills number 4, decoding text and spelling. Decoding skills are also set out in the literacy curriculum guidelines put out by ECSD LINC. Let's wrap up. In order to read fluently in English, students need to develop literacy skills, including phonemic awareness and phonics. There is a need, in my opinion, for comprehensive, explicit, sequential, phonics-based instruction for English language learners. More resources need to be developed. I've started creating some of these resources. Check out Shona's reading program. It's free on YouTube. I just graduated with a master's degree, and my research was in the area of teaching reading skills. So I invite you to read my big research paper if you like. We'll see you next time. I have a lot more to say about reading instruction. That's it for today. If you want to contact me, leave me a message or send me an email. Thanks for learning with me. We'll see you next time. If you want to find my videos easily, check out my website, www.mycanadianenglish.com. And remember, if you have not already subscribed, you should subscribe because it makes me happy. Bye for now.